coming to the public, how is the public actually absorbing the whole thing? If something happens with Pakistan, obviously because of its own history and many things, people come to the street and they everybody say we should stop this, we should not do this. But China, when any situation with China comes, yeah, the media discusses a bit, and then there was some guidelines, headlines in the papers. But actually, people say, yeah, it's something is happening, but not so much emotionally connected to it, or rather, also rationally discussing it on the streets and all things. What has to do with that? It's all about history, and why with one country you have a different kind of thing, but with China they see it in a different light.
I would say because of this COVID crisis and the restrictive measures that has the restrictive measures that has prevented people to come on streets and protest against this thing. That is one thing. Okay, the other thing is the media rather focusing on the main issue. I mean, main issue in that sense. What is the real problem between India and China relations? They are focusing only on the border clashes between Indian Army and PLA. So I would say we need to focus on the history. I mean, we need to, now it's time to inform the people about the problem. I mean, what is the root cause of this problem? Why this country's behavior is against against India? Why this country is doing this? I would say, I mean, it has something to do with our Western neighbor also, because they are both working closely in many international platforms and many international organizations, multilateral forums. So, I mean, we need to find the root cause of this problem and to address this. It should be like this is an opportunity for the Indian side to deal the border issues, to close it once for all. So, but it's easily said, but it is the most important aspect of this problem, because without solving this, you cannot move forward, because we have two fronts, East and West. India has two fronts, East and West. So you have to invest heavily on this. So if you are investing heavily on security measures, what about the social projects? Or what about the development of infrastructure? What about the development of health infrastructure and education and all those things? Where comes the money? We need to solve this. We are in compulsion to solve this thing, not to find a kind of ad hoc solution and just to close this and invest more money on security. That doesn't make any sense, or it won't work like this, because after 5 years it may come up.
Okay. So coming to the last few minutes, Saravanan, I would say, would you like to take this last minutes to share some of things which you would like to tell, which was not covered in the last, let's say, 40-45 minutes with respect to this part?
Yeah. Bala, we Indians, most of the Indian people are very like emotional in nature. So whatever it affects the country, the patriotic nature of the people, it comes around, and then the emotional feelings come around, and it tends the people not to think rational. So, not rational in that sense. People started saying we have to boycott Chinese products, we have to boycott this, we have to do this, we have to retaliate, we have to use nuclear weapons. I mean, a lot of emotional things comes around instead of going to the root cause and solve the problem. So, and sometimes the leadership also wants that rhetoric to keep the people alive, to keep the problem alive, using we will fight till our last lives, or we will give our lives to defend our territory. This kind of emotional things would be counterproductive instead of leading to a kind of constructive dialogue with that country or with any other countries. So emotional attitude is one of the major hindrance in solving a problem, because domestic problems also shapes the foreign policy. The government's rhetoric is also comes under this way, and it sends a wrong signal to the other party. I mean, in this case, our neighboring country, China. So this has happened in 1962 also. People were emotionally charged, and there were rhetorics from our side, and the people, and it led to the kind of instead of being emotional, one has to think rational, because we cannot afford two fronts, one on the east and one on the west. It is also, you should also admit the fact that China is a huge country and a huge economy. So to compete with China, we need resources, like we need social projects, we need huge investments. If we are not stable enough, then we don't get any investments, and we divert our funds to only to defense projects, not to our social projects. So in that sense, we ourselves are inhibiting our development and growth.
Saravanan, full talking to you. I think you have much for this talk, and also sharing your a deep analysis, and I think it gives us a glimpse to what it is all about, and also we touched upon few things surrounding that. I think it's very, very, very let's say enlightening to look at it. Of course, one can keep on speaking about for the whole day if we pick up each small threads about it. I think we would have time to speak about individual countries at a later point of time. So thanks a lot, viewers, for this, and the next episode will be soon there, and we would very much look forward to meet you all in an episode, and we will have our standing expert Saravanan will be also taking us through to the next topic. We have not yet decided which one it would be, but certainly something that we will look at, the probably latest one, or also something that have been there for some period of time in the context. So wish you all well, and Saravanan, thank you. See you then soon.
Thank you, Bala. Thank you. Bye. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you, Bala.